All right, we're here with Mr. Ervin. If anybody remembers last year, he went on a bicycle trip. I believe it was St. Louis to the West Coast.
San Francisco, yep.
I remembered. Now this year, tell us about your trip, where you went this year.
I started in Milwaukee, Wisconsin on Lake Michigan, and then I cycled to Florence, Oregon on the Pacific coast.
Okay, how many days did it take you? Because it seems like it was most of the summer.
It was longer this year than last year. It took me all summer. In fact, I got back the Sunday before the Monday we had to be back at school.
Tell us a little bit about your planning of these trips.
Well, I order paper cycling maps from an organization called Adventure Cycling, and I just go. It's really hard to plan too much in advance because you don't know what's going to happen from day to day. So
those cycling maps give you a basic idea of friendly areas for cyclists to go and camp and do all that type of thing.
Yeah, there's cycling friendly roads that are mapped out, and that has resources like campgrounds and where you can get food and water and stuff like that. So it's really detailed. So it takes a lot of the planning and the guesswork off of the cyclist, and it's already done for you.
Okay, so how far in advance, or what did you kind of decide when you said you like the West? Tell us a little bit about kind of how you plot where you're going to go.
It depends on the optimal routes that Adventure Cycling maps out, really. There's several routes, but I just go pick a different one every year depending on what I haven't seen, basically.
Okay, now we had a student just now ask about bear country because you did go right through the Yellowstone area this year, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to Yellowstone National Park. I carried bear spray. The chances of having to use it isn't very likely, honestly. But I mean, I carried it when I was in around Yellowstone and in Montana, but never had to use it.
Did you see any?
It did. I saw 2 grizzly bears and 2 black bears.
All right. Now, there was also wildfires that you had to potentially deal with this year. Tell us a little bit about that and how that maybe changed the direction that you decided to go.
The short answer is it didn't affect me at all, really. Where I was going, it didn't affect me. I mean, I kind of kept an eye on it, but it didn't affect me.
Okay. Now, there's a few students who no doubt are thinking right about now, 2 months cycling, no power, no electricity, but you do use technology some on your trip. So tell them how you're able to do that. Well,
I have external battery packs. One has a solar panel on it, but you're really never that far away from civilization. I can almost always find an outlet somewhere to charge the battery packs and charge the phone.
So there's nights that you camp at campgrounds that you have some power at your disposal.
Oh yeah, more often than not, there are plug-ins on at the campgrounds. Yeah.
Okay. I enjoy eating. Tell me a little bit about your diet and how you pull off eating while you're on these trips.
It's absolute junk. Gas station food. Whatever I want to, really, but it's what's available at gas stations, a lot of fast food restaurants, things like that. So I don't think about it too much. I just eat what I want.
So for the people who are looking at his Facebook and you're envisioning that he's like sitting there fishing in that little lake that he just passed by and takes out the fish and like makes a little fire, that's not what we're talking about.
That's not it at all, no. No, highly processed, totally unhealthy, just junk. So
he's over there eating hot chips. Of course, then he gets on his bike and does how many miles a day?
I'd like to get in around 75. There were some days this summer I did 100.
Okay. She's asking about the equipment that you're actually riding, your bike itself.
Yeah. So they're tubeless tires, so I don't have to. Didn't get any flats, but I did have to get a new tire about halfway through in Idaho because tires wear out just like on a car. So I did have to get one new tire, but not a big deal.
I'm assuming your bike maps have really good shops dictated on them?
Yeah, it's mapped out where there are shops and stuff like that, mechanical services and things. So